Okay guys, here we go. Area of a sector of a circle. The first thing I want you to take a look at is hold on. All right, take a look first here at a circle. And so a full circle means that you are going all the way around 360 degrees. So your central angle would be 360 degrees. So 360 degrees out of 360 degrees is 1. Now, if you're doing a semicircle, it means you're going 180 degrees. So 180 degrees out of 360 degrees is a half. A quarter circle means that you're only going around 90 degrees. So 90 out of 360 would be 1/4. Now, any sector. So the area of any sector is given by this formula right here. And that's where n is the number of degrees. So for example, if it was 90, you would put 90 over 360, which is going to give you a quarter. So you're finding a quarter of the area of the circle. That's why it's a equals pi r squared. And then the n over 360 is just the amount of the circle that you're finding the area of. So if we go to this first problem here, it says find the area of a sector with the central angle of 40. So that means I would go A is equal to, and then 40 out of 360 times pi times, and then it says your radius is 12, so 12 squared. So what we've got now is we've got 40 out of 360 times pi times 12, and when you put it all in your calculator, you end up with, it says nearest tenth, so 50.3 square centimeters. So the next one, find the area of the circle with an arc length of 30 centimeters and a radius of 10 centimeters. So now we're doing an arc length. And so with arc length, you use this formula. Area equals S all over 2 pi r times pi r squared. So here you would go area equals, and S is your arc length. So my arc length was 30, and then I want to go 2 pi, and my radius is 10, and then pi 10 squared. When you plug that all in your calculator, you end up with 150 square centimeters. Now, arc length is S is equal to R theta. That's how you find arc length if it's not given to you. So it actually could have used either one of these, but it's just we use this one because it gave you the arc length. All right, listen to the next part. So if you take a look at this one, the example tells you that the arc length of a sector. So if you remember, arc length is where you do the circumference. Arc measure is different than arc length. So here, what you're doing is you're doing theta, which is your angle, times pi times the radius over 180, where actually you could do 2 theta times pi times r over 360. That's what we're used to using, but all they did is they just reduced this to 180. That's why they've got this. So it's just a reduction of 180, no big deal. All right, so then you just plug all your stuff in. They asked you to use 3.14 for pi, so we're gonna go ahead and put pi in this time. All right, so if we set up this first one, the length of the arc of MN. So when we set that up, okay, so to find our length of our arc, we're going to go our angle, which is 270 times 2 times pi times your radius all over 360. I'm using this one here. When you plug that all in the calculator, you end up with 56.52 inches. Now, the area of a sector. So for that one, we need to use the green formula. So the first thing we need is our arc length, which was 56.52 times your radius, which is 12 all over 2. And when you plug that in your calculator, you end up with 339.12, and this is an area, so inches squared. All right, let's do the arc length of OP. So if I want to find the arc length of OP, again, I say my theta, which is 65 degrees, times my circumference, which would be 2 times pi times 17, all over 360. Plug it all in the calculator, and you get 19.28 feet. All right, next one. We do the area of the sector. And so the area of the sector, we take our arc length, which is 19.28, times your radius, which is 17, divided by 2. Plug it in the calculator, 163.85 feet squared. All right, next one. We're going to do the arc length. So we're going to take our angle, and you'll notice that it's shaded. So our angle is 240 times the circumference, which is 2 times pi times 9, all over 360. Plug it in the calculator, 337.68 yards. Going to the next one. Now we're going to find the area of the sector. So we're going to go 37.68 times 9 all over 2. And you end up with 169.56 yards squared. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so you guys go ahead and give it a go. Come back when you're ready. And here's your answer. All right, do the next one. Go. All right, here's your answer. Hopefully you got it right. Keep going. Try the next one. And here's the answer to the next one. Okay, so you'll notice this is a math worksheet for kids that's fun. So let's go ahead and do this next one. So we have, oops, wrong color. All right, 130 times 2 times pi times 11 all over 360. Plug it all in your calculator. 24.95 inches. So now we can use that so that we can find the area of the sector, which is, let's see, 24.95 times your radius all over 2. And you get 137.20 inches squared. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next one. And so let's go blue. Go blue. Do your angle times 2 times pi times radius all over 360. Therefore, this is 62.97 feet when you plug it in your calculator. Now we're going to do the area of the sector, which is take your length of your arc, 62.97, times your radius all over 2, which would be 598.26 feet squared. And then our final last one, I never leave myself enough room, is we're going to go 50 times 2 times pi times 6 over 360, and you get 5.23 yards. And then the area of the sector is 5.23 times 6 divided by 2, which gives you 15.7 yards squared. And we're done.